Hey, what's going on everyone? This is iReviews back with another video, and today I will show you guys how to fix battery drain on your iOS 26.4 device. Now, if you have updated to iOS 26.4 and you're having problems with battery life, then these are a few things that you can do right now to make sure that you will get way better battery life. Even though the battery life on iOS 26.4 in my experience has actually been quite good. Now, the first thing you need to do, if you have been on any of the betas of iOS 26.4, whether you have tested it on the dev beta or the public beta, make sure that you're out of the beta. The way to do that, make sure to go to your settings, go to the general settings, and then go right here to software update and make sure that you have the latest update installed on your device. Even if you have installed the RC version, there is a newer version that was actually released alongside with the public release, so make sure you have the latest version of iOS 26.4 installed on your device. The next thing you want to do is make sure that you also update your apps. Now, most of the apps, especially the popular ones, will be releasing updates immediately after a big iOS update like iOS 26.4. So there is most likely a ton of new updates for your apps on the App Store right now. So make sure you go ahead and update all of your apps. Make sure you have the latest version of these apps on your device. Now, if you don't want to bother with doing that from the App Store here, you can just go ahead and turn on automatic updates for your apps, and you can do it from the App Store settings. So right here under the app settings, when you go to the App Store, you will have automatic downloads. All you need to do here, make sure you have app updates enabled. Now, on iOS 26.4, you will also have a new feature right here under display and text size that will allow you to save a bit of battery by just removing some unnecessary flashes and reflections and highlights on your device. Reduce bright effects, you enable it right here, and it will basically just reduce the bright effects, the highlights, the flashes, and all that stuff that is caused by the new liquid glass design on iOS 26.4 and of course earlier iOS 26 versions. Now, with iOS 26.4, Apple has also added videos to podcasts, and you can see right here, once you open your device for the first time, it will show you a section with different podcasts that now actually allow you to watch them with video, which is really awesome. So if we go to one of them, we can go ahead and play right here. You can see we have an episode that we can play, and it does also have video. It shows right here. But what I suggest you do, if you're listening to a podcast and you not necessarily need to watch the video, then just listen to it. Don't watch the video also, or just leave your iPhone running with that podcast on and also with the video enabled, because of course watching a video will consume way more battery than just listening to the podcast. Now, another thing I suggest you do is take a look at the list of the apps that you have under your battery section on the Settings app. So right here, when you go to View All Usage, you will see the list of the apps that have used your battery the most. Now, of course, if you see here apps that you do use a lot, then that's normal. But if you see an app that you rarely use and it's still up here, then you should probably remove that app completely from your device and just make sure you find a replacement for it on the App Store. Now, right here under the Settings app, also go to Apple Intelligence and Siri. And what I suggest you do, if you don't actually use Apple Intelligence or you don't need any of the features of Apple Intelligence, just make sure you turn it off completely. Now, of course, when you're typing something, replying to something, you will get suggestions from Apple Intelligence, and that will require CPU usage, of course, also usage of your battery. So if you don't really use those features, then probably the best option for you is actually to turn them off completely. Another thing I suggest you turn off is the camera on the lock screen. You know that slide to reveal the camera from the right to the left. You go to camera right here, and then make sure you have this enabled right, or actually disabled to disable the feature, so you don't accidentally just open the camera and just drain your battery. It happens a lot. Probably it will happen a few times a week where you just launch the camera, maybe even forget it while placing your phone in your pocket. You're opening the camera with that gesture and just draining the battery. Now, another thing I suggest you do is take a close look of how much haptics you have enabled on your device. Now, if you go to sounds and haptics right here, you will have actually a section here for haptics, system haptics. Of course, that will turn off everything, all the haptics on your device, so you don't want to do that. But what you can do is, of course, go right here, ringtone and alerts, and then go to haptics, and you will have a few options. Now, I choose to never play haptics. It's just because I don't like that, but I think the best option for most users will be to play in silent mode. So when your iPhone is on silent mode, you get the haptic feedback for your notifications and rings. Otherwise, you just get the notification sound or ring without the haptic if you're not on silent mode. Now, another thing I believe you must do is be very careful with using live wallpapers and also spatial wallpapers on your iPhone. If you use them all the time, every day, during complete the day, that will just drain a ton of battery out of your iPhone. You must be very careful with using those wallpapers. Of course, you might want to use one here and there, but not all the time because they will drain the battery. And also widgets, make sure you choose carefully what widgets are you using. Especially if you're someone that has gotten a new phone or you're new to iPhone, when you swipe here, you know there's a page full of widgets. Make sure you remove those because they will stay there and just drain the battery out of your iPhone, because you will have news widgets, stock widgets. All of those are actually connected to internet and they're all the time being updated. They're using the battery all the time. So make sure you check your home screen and lock screen as well, and make sure you always only use the widget that you actually need. And also beware of how you're using the always on display on your iPhone. Now, this has also been confirmed by Apple. The always on display will actually use battery quite a lot. So when you go here, you have the always on display. You can choose to not show wallpaper. That will actually help a lot because it doesn't brighten the screen that much. And of course, if you have an iPhone with an OLED display, it will just completely turn off the other pixels. It will just leave on the clock. That way it doesn't have any effect on the battery at all. Otherwise, if you have it on and you have everything on right here like I do, it will probably use during the day like 3 to 4% of battery just to keep this running. Now, something that will also use a ton of battery are, of course, notifications. I always suggest that you go ahead and take a close look at all the apps that do send you notifications, organize them into the scheduled summaries, and of course for the apps that you actually don't need to have notifications at all, just go ahead and completely turn them off, as many as possible. And of course, one of the biggest battery drainers, location services. Now, I actually keep it off all the time on my device. The only time I will enable location services is when I need to use like a navigating app. Otherwise, it's off completely. So if you choose to have this on right here, make sure you go ahead and take a look at all of these apps and see how they're using your location. First of all, if you're not like using a navigation app or something like that really needs your precise location, for other apps, make sure you have this off. And then just go ahead and choose these right here while using the app. Not all the time, use this while using the app. And for apps that you know you don't need location, just switch it off completely. So that is it for this video, guys. These are a few tips and tricks that I believe will help you get better battery life on your iPhone. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and found it helpful. If you did, smash the like button and of course subscribe for more, and I'll see you on the next one.